We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
The courts protect women's rights, another record fundraiser, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. A federal judge has blocked President Biden's expansion of Title IX in 4 states, calling the mandatory gender identity protections an abuse of power. U.S. District Judge Terry Doherty granted a preliminary injunction on Thursday and referred to the Biden administration's unilateral Title IX changes as a threat to democracy. This case demonstrates the abuse of power by executive federal agencies in the rulemaking process, Doherty said in his ruling. The separation of powers and system of checks and balances exist in this country for a reason. Doherty ruled that the changes were inadmissible because the term gender discrimination, as used in the establishment of Title IX, only included discrimination against biological males and females at the time of enactment. The Biden administration attempted to expand Title IX so that it would no longer protect women against biological men who identify as women. Police have arrested one person and are searching for 2 others after pro-Hamas agitators were seen burning American and Israeli flags just outside the Israeli consulate in Manhattan last week. Jackie Lodgson McRae, age 20, was arrested Wednesday and has been charged with reckless endangerment, menacing, disorderly conduct, and failing to use a sidewalk, the New York Police Department confirmed. On Wednesday, outside the Israeli consulate in New York City, a mob burned both American and Israeli flags, the consulate wrote in a social media post. This act shows that hatred towards Israel always accompanies anti-American sentiment. The NYPD has increased security efforts around the consulate to ensure the safety of our community. Russian officials said on Monday that the first hearing in the trial of Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich will take place next week. Gershkovich, designated as wrongly detained by the U.S. government, is expected to appear in court on June 26th in a closed-door session. Russian state-run TASS news agency reported. Russia accused him of collecting information on a defense contractor for the CIA when he was arrested in March 2023. However, the Wall Street Journal has long said that Gershkovich was on an assignment for the newspaper and has strongly condemned the Russian assertion. Gershkovich has been held for 14 months with no hearings. President Biden went from a disastrous appearance at the G7 summit, where he had to be led around by other world leaders, to a Hollywood fundraiser. Mr. Biden left Italy late Friday night and arrived in Los Angeles early Saturday morning ahead of a star-studded evening fundraiser with former President Barack Obama, talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, George Clooney, and Julia Roberts. The Biden-Harris campaign said Sunday morning that they had raised $30 million, a record sum for a single Democratic fundraiser. It also eclipses the $26 million the Biden campaign raised from a March fundraiser in New York City with Mr. Biden, Obama, and former President Bill Clinton. Protesters gathered outside of the fundraiser in Los Angeles to express their outrage with President Biden's policies on Gaza in the ongoing Israeli-Hamas war. The record fundraiser highlighted the division between the Hollywood elite that supports Joe Biden and the rest of the country. More rural voters are turning away from the Democratic Party, an especially serious problem for President Biden's re-election campaign in North Carolina, the most rural of the battleground states this year. Biden narrowly lost the state in 2020. Rural North Carolinians share a mistrust of the government, according to interviews with roughly 24 residents. Many believe that Democrats either don't understand their point of view or don't want to, reports the Wall Street Journal. In a March poll conducted in 7 battleground states, including North Carolina, the Wall Street Journal found that 62% of voters in rural areas plan to vote for Trump, compared with 47% of all U.S. voters who favor him. A play critical of Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's gender views is struggling to find actresses willing to fill its female roles, according to a report from The Telegraph. This project has met some kind of resistance every step of the way, though I've been generally surprised by how difficult it has been for us to recruit the female cast. In particular, creative producer Barry Church Woods told the outlet. He added that it's a well-paid gig meeting industry standards, and the script is terrific. The play's working title is TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. So far, the report says, 90 actresses have turned down parts for female roles. The play is critical of J.K. Rowling standing up for women's rights against those of biological males who claim to be female. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.